Tonight has truly been one for the history books. Never before in the legacy of SummerSlam have we witnessed this many championship bouts on a single night. And what better way to end such a monumental evening than with a colossal main event, a fatal four-way match for the prestigious Universal Championship. This isn't just a battle for a title, it's an all-out war among four of the most formidable competitors in WWE today. Standing tall among the challengers is a man who has captivated the WWE Universe with his sheer brute force, a man many consider to be the overwhelming favorite to walk out of the Barclays Center as the new champion, the monster among men, Braun Strowman. And frankly, it's hard to disagree. The man is a walking natural disaster, an unstoppable force who thrives on destruction. I'd wager I'm among the majority who believe tonight belongs to Strowman. His path of chaos, from throwing ambulances to decimating his opponents, has positioned him not just as a threat, but as a terrifying inevitability. Now the question that looms over everyone's mind: how do you stop Braun Strowman? The answer may be simpler than it sounds: you don't. You can't strategize against a force of nature. You can only hope to survive. When Braun steps into the ring, his objective isn't just victory. It's pain. It's punishment. And tonight, in an environment with no disqualifications and no countouts, he's a beast without chains. He's free to unleash every ounce of rage and strength without fear of reprisal. Yet, the monster isn't the only danger in this fight. There's another powerhouse who has been riding a wave of momentum, Samoa Joe. Once considered a long shot, Joe's stock has risen dramatically in recent weeks. There's been a surge of belief across social media, a groundswell of fans who are convinced this is Joe's moment. And they have good reason. He came inches from defeating Brock Lesnar at the Great Balls of Fire event, a fact that has not gone unnoticed. For those of us who have followed Joe's career, we know he's not just tough. He's surgical, brutal, and fearless. I know firsthand how dangerous Samoa Joe can be, and I'm confident he could leave Brooklyn tonight wearing the Universal Championship. In fact, if I had to place a bet, I'd say Joe's walking out with the gold. And then there's the big dog himself, Roman Reigns. A man who is no stranger to adversity and pressure. Roman has been here before. He knew the energy inside the Barclays Center would be electric, and he knew that it wouldn't be friendly. But he feeds off that chaos. He's been in hostile territory before, and he has made a career out of silencing doubters with performance after performance. There's a reason Roman Reigns has been the cornerstone of this company. He's been at the top, and he has every intention of climbing back tonight. In a match filled with monsters and destroyers, Roman stands tall not just because of his power, but because of his experience and resilience. He's tangled with Braun Strowman in a deeply personal and physical rivalry. He's battled Samoa Joe toe-to-toe. But perhaps what gives Roman the edge over his fellow challengers is his history with the reigning champion, Brock Lesnar. Roman has stepped into the ring with Brock before, most notably in their epic clash at WrestleMania and in that wild triple threat at Fastlane. Roman knows what Brock brings to the table. That's a rare advantage in a match like this. While the others may fear or respect the beast incarnate, Roman knows how to survive him, and perhaps how to beat him. There's a common misconception that Roman Reigns is hated. But the truth is, he's polarizing. You love him or you loathe him, but you can't ignore him. That's the sign of a true main eventer. His lineage, his training, his commitment. He has the tools to be the face of WWE, and tonight, he has the chance to prove once again that he deserves that spotlight. Let's not forget the champion himself, Brock Lesnar. The Universal Champion enters tonight's showdown with the odds heavily stacked against him. For the first time in WWE history, the Universal title will be defended in a fatal four-way. The rules are unforgiving. The champion doesn't need to be pinned or submitted to lose his title. Any of the other three men can win the championship without involving Lesnar in the final decision. It's a format that is Paul Heyman, the outspoken advocate for Lesnar, screaming about conspiracies. He's even threatened that if Brock loses tonight, they're both walking away from WWE for good. And who could blame him? The math simply doesn't favor the champion. He has a 1 in 4 chance to retain his title and 3 ultra-dangerous contenders gunning straight for him. That said, if there's one man who has made a career out of defying the odds, It's Brock Lesnar. This is the same man who walked into the UFC and dethroned a Hall of Famer in Randy Couture. The same man who conquered The Undertaker's legendary WrestleMania streak. The same man who has carved out a legacy of pure dominance. Now, as the lights dim and the Barclays Center erupts in anticipation, it's time. This is it. A fatal four-way for the most coveted prize in sports entertainment. Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar. No rules. No boundaries. Just violence and glory. The bell rings and chaos erupts. Strowman lunges at Reigns with unrelenting fury. Joe targets Lesnar with no hesitation. Each pairing explodes into furious combat. Suplexes fly, bodies collide, and the ring feels like it might shatter under the weight of this war. Samoa Joe, always calculating, brings the aggression. He locks Lesnar into a coquina clutch on the outside, trying to put the beast to sleep early. But it's a risky strategy, because submissions outside the ring won't win the title. Meanwhile, Reigns and Strowman reignite their personal feud inside the ring. These two have battered each other for months, and it shows in their strikes, each blow packed with vengeance. Then, out of nowhere, Roman launches into a spear, but Joe sidesteps, and Reigns drives Lesnar straight through the barricade. The ringside area begins to resemble a battlefield. Debris litters the ground. Announce tables quake. The air is electric with disbelief. Samoa Joe capitalizes, smashing Reigns into the table, but Strowman re-enters the fray and lifts Joe like a sack of flour, slamming him mercilessly through another announce table. Then comes the moment that silences even the rowdiest fans. Strowman lifts Lesnar high into the air and plants him through a table with a thunderous running power slam. The beast has been broken. But it isn't over. Strowman does it again. And then, impossibly again. 3 tables destroyed. Lesnar reduced to rubble. Paul Heyman is screaming. Officials rush to ringside. Even medical personnel intervene as Lesnar is strapped to a stretcher and wheeled away. Has the monster dethroned the beast without even pinning him? Strowman roars, triumphant. But the match is far from over. He turns his attention to Roman Reigns and hurls steel steps across the ring like they're frisbees. Joe tries to recover, but is met with the same steel punishment. Reigns manages to stagger back into the ring, where he lands some well-timed shots with his steel steps to Strowman's head. Finally, the big man is knocked off his feet. But it takes 3 vicious hits to do it. The momentum shifts once again. Joe seizes the opportunity to toss Reigns out of the ring and goes for the pin. It's almost a 3 count, but Roman digs deep and kicks out. Joe applies more pressure, delivering his patented